Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to My Hero Academia Season 7, Episode 13, titled A Chain of Events Across the Ages. Deku finally arrives at the coffin in the sky. Seeing Bakugo and the others defeated by Shigaraki/All for One, Deku shakes with anger. Can he control his feelings and win against Shigaraki? It's finally time for a showdown. So, this was meant to come out last week, but apparently there was some issues. Well, not really issues. They just postponed it because of the Olympics. So, guess it comes out this week. And I don't know if there are more gaps coming from here. I think the Olympics are done now. I don't know. I haven't actually been following it. So, there might be more, or it might be done. So, who knows how the rest of this season's gonna work out. But, yeah, we're finally back, and we get to see Midoriya's reaction to Bakugo being dead. Or at least mostly dead. Because mostly dead means he's still slightly alive. Yeah, so let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Well, you'll not play. Yeah, don't focus on that so they don't give us which villains were there. Yeah. I forgot this started in the last episode. I forgot that was revealed in the last episode. Then we got yeah, it really was. The heroes thought they won, and then the villains pulled out their gambits in the last episode. Yeah, I forgot that was how the last episode ended. Honestly, I reckon this would have been the better episode to have the new opening start. Like you have up until the villains turn the tables with the hopeful one, then immediately after they do, you get this change. I will say, especially after that recap at the start, this fits the tone that set off. Because what Star would is what Star would have wanted. So they turned around, continued to defy orders, and get to play a part in the final battle. I thought he did the Amazing Spider-Man crane scene, just jumping, swinging between them all. You don't really get a scale of Shigaraki's hand armor form in the manga. Mirio was scared shitless. Yep. Fajin. They almost bounced him out. Yeah. Your childhood friend's got a massive hole in his chest. I wouldn't really call that everyone's alright. Yeah, this is. And yet he still whooped your ass there. Yeah. Midoriya knows that what he's saying is correct. He can't afford to lose control. Going all the way back to Lariat's first speech. That was a good shot. Mm, have they? He's still hung up about. The million's too nice to be still hung. Because he's still hung up about accidentally hurting his feelings. Hmm. She's gonna recognize who those people are, isn't she? Kotaro. Of course, she'd recognize her son and his family. May's just unfazed. I don't remember that. I do not remember Black Chain. Yeah. I think it was actually called gearshift in the manga. Because it is like a. In a car, it's going different gears. Mm. Oh, for one, looked a little startled there. I don't think we ever got a name for him. That was right after he'd killed um the first. That's why he had tears. I mean, it works on small objects. What is smaller than a cell? Well, atoms, but yeah, see, that's the problem. Shigaraki and All For One both also have analytical minds. Really is utilizing all of the quirks. Is this the first time we've actually got to see their whole body while they're doing the power up? I'm getting chills. And I have. Yeah, it's just clearing the battlefield. I thought that was going to be the end of the episode. Remember what Shimura said, but remember what you said in response. That ominous wall of clouds that they said was being caused from all the quirks. There we go, there's the end. Just gonna jump ahead, make sure there's no... Okay, so, as I said in the last episode, we now cut away from this battle. Yep, it leaves it at that for what was about a year's worth of time of manga chapters, because I think... there we go. My Hero Academia arcs. Because this is a chain of events across the ages, which would be pretty sure his story is also part of this. No, that's the start of the next one. Okay, so this ends with chapter 369, which came out October 11, 2022. And then we don't get back to it until where was it? Possibly that one. No, a little bit before that. I'm gonna go that. Okay, we're getting close. So I'm just trying to look through, try to find out. I think It's chapter... No, it's not chapter 399. That looks like... It's not 400. Possibly 405. Let's check 405. No, that's after. It's somewhere in the low 400s, which was coming out in October of 2023. So yeah, it was literally a year's time that we cut away from this final battle to focus on others. It wasn't a year's worth of chapters, because that was only 40 out of the 52 weeks, but I did also say that there were a lot of breaks because of Horikoshi's health and that. But yeah, so I don't know how that's going to translate into episodes, because I want to say that we're only a third of the way through the chapters. It's been 26 chapters in well, no, it's 26 plus 14. Yeah. So it's been, 40 chapters in 13 episodes. But there's been 26 from this arc out of 82. So we're more than halfway through the season, assuming it is 25. And we've got double and a half of what we've covered this season already. Yeah, so I really don't know what they're going to do, because after the war there's another 6 chapters of the epilogue. So I really don't know if they're pushing this as a longer season, or if they're going to cut again and maybe, I don't know, do what Demon Slayer did and release a movie-length thing for the epilogue. Because there's not enough for 2 seasons. There's not enough for a season and a half. But there's too much for half a season. Well, there's enough for 1 season. So I really don't know what they're going to do. I really thought that started before here, though. There's something else with this. It must not be technically a full year, because there's still something that needs to happen. Okay. I think I'm remembering series of events. I think we do actually jump back here with what should be within the next 2 episodes to then set everything else up. Possibly. I'm going to have to look more into that to see. I might, at the start of the next episode, come back and talk more about that. But yeah, this was really showing what Izuku has built up to. Every single one for all quirk has been utilized in this fight. They were all used in a combo attack to set up a final big smash that broke through Shigaraki's muscular, finger armor form though it did look like he still had it at the end there. But it broke through that. It basically did to Shigaraki what Shigaraki did to Bakugo and punched a massive hole in his chest. However, there's another surprise coming, a surprise I don't actually remember, but it's also destabilized the connection between All For One and this body to the point where he's no longer fully fused with Shigaraki. And this does also lead into the next big thing that we're focusing on. We do have a couple smaller things between now and then, but the next big thing is built directly off of this, just on a different front. So, yeah. But I've always loved the light going between all the vestiges whenever Izuku really needs a power-up moment, and to actually get to see all of the ones. All 7 of the users. Well, technically, you didn't have the first one starting it. It started from the second onwards, but yeah. And fucking the second user's quirk. Just the ability to affect the momentum of small objects that he has touched. Basically, he could be Gambit. He just gets a deck of cards and uses that as a weapon, because if he speeds up a playing card fast enough, that becomes deadly. You speed up any small projectile, it's basically a railgun. Of course, he doesn't have the power to make it really a railgun, because, well, actually, he could, provided the thing was small enough, because the bigger something is, the less he's able to manipulate it, so on and so forth. But yeah, that's what his bracer was for. It was for shooting out things that he'd touched at the high speed, and he could manipulate the momentum of them. And as he says, it's a quirk that ignores inertia. Now, as you know, concept of inertia, one of the fundamental rules of physics is if something is in motion, it wants to stay in motion. So even if you apply a stopping force on it, it's going to try and continue on at the same speed until all of that energy is dissipated from the collision. Whereas this is able to freely speed up, slow down. I don't think it can reverse, so it's not quite a gear shift, but yeah, it just ignores the wanting to stay in motion at the same speed. And yeah, so it can seemingly pause. It goes slow gear enough that it's basically just stood still midair. But then can just go pew. And because it was the first quirk, and it's heavily implied that it compounds, it's not like here's one person, then you add the second person and their quirk, then you add the third person and their quirk. It's, you've got the first person, then you've got the first person and the second person with their quirk added on. And then you've got the first person, the second person, their quirk, and the third person, their quirk added on. So it just exponentially grows. So it makes sense that the first quirk that was added into it has the biggest change, to the point where it can be used on individual cells within a body to speed up the person it's being used on. And he does warn that, hey, if you do this, you need to defeat him in 5 minutes or less. Because after that, you're done. And yeah, so that is why we don't see the second user's quirk until this fight. And why he warned Midoriya not to use it when he was trying to speed up to fly across the ocean. Like, imagine if he had Gear 5 on him, just going from the island to UA. He'd have been there in a couple seconds. He could have been there before they even got a hit off on Shigaraki the first time. Unfortunately, that also, the higher speed he uses it, I think the quicker his timer runs down. So, doing it to travel the distance would be a waste of some of the time that he might need it in this final battle. And then the callback, because Horikoshi has said that he loves Spider-Man. And we saw that with Lariat's ability basically being the web slinging. I mean, to be fair, you could say several of these things are related to Spider-Man if you take into account the true speed, strength, and agility of someone with the spider powers. You could say there's a lot more, but yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man crane scene where he's just swinging between all of the cranes to get to Osborn Tower. Yeah, that's... I forgot they made a callback to that, but then I saw him attached to one of the jets that had broken formation to pick him up, and I'm like, oh yeah. But yeah, it is okay. So I was going to touch on this in the episode, but then I decided to leave it to the end discussion, and I almost forgot. But there was some controversy around this episode when the final quirk was revealed, because people were saying Horikoshi copied Luffy's final ability, where Luffy has that whole gearshift attack pattern and all that, which is probably why they changed the name of it for the episode. I forget what they actually changed it to, but yeah. Where was the first use of it? Just gotta try find where he first says what it is. That's the 5 minutes or you lose. And this once and for all. Transmission. Yeah, they changed it from gearshift into transmission because of the whole uproar it had in relation to Luffy and that. Also, I'm probably butchering that name. I've never actually learned how to say it because I've never watched One Piece. But, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.